guys. What's up? We're here. Y'all pardon me for being being a little late. Oh my god, I was rushing, you guys. Caramel was rushing. Thank y'all for being here. We are here. We are here. Happy Sunday, everybody. Say me too, ready for my laugh. Yeah, well, it's y'all know what it is, y'all. It's Sunday. It's our review, baby, for Love and Marriage Huntsville. How you guys doing? Happy Sunday. I hope you guys had a great day. It's been kind of raining off and on here. So I kind of been relaxing, got a few things done. We cooked a little bit today, honey. We were down there making them pots hum today in the kitchen. And we just kind of chilled out today. But somebody said, I'm in this biatch. I know that's right. Yes, I see y'all hyped up. All right, let's go ahead and get the disclaimer out the way, honey, before I forget. Because, baby, y'all know we don't never know what's gonna fly out of our mouth, honey. Everything said in this video is said. Let's start over. Damn. Get it together, Caramel. The spirit of thick tongue already trying to get on me. Tisha, Wanda, get out of here, okay? All right, let's start over. All right, disclaimer. Everything said in this video is alleged and in my opinion, and it is used for fair use, okay? Yes, and thank you for the weather notification. Damn. But yeah, everything's used for fair use, all right? So yeah, this is our Love and Marriage Huntsville review, you guys, for season 6, episode 9, okay? Yes, come on, Caramel, bring it, sis. Yes, let's do it, y'all. Ooh, I'm a little sleepy too with this weather, so we're gonna get through it, baby. Let me wake up. All right. Woo. All right, so season 6, episode 9. We're gonna go ahead and jump right on into it. Ready to pop off. That is the title of this particular episode. All right. Love and Marriage Huntsville. The episode starts off, you guys, with Tisha and Marcel, honey, at their 3x5-inch house over there, honey. They are Tisha is packing boxes because they are said to be moving. All right. Now, production kind of rolls tape on them at Bedrock, honey, over there, acting excited about their dream house being built when they still have rocks everywhere. Okay. And then they also make mention as to say that the house is looking like it's going to take them about another 3 years or maybe 4 years, you guys. They were planning on trying to have this house done by 2024, which we know that's not going to happen because, damn, they got so many damn rocks. The land has not been, cleared out to the point to where they can do it because they got so many damn rocks and shit out there. I'm just like, anywho. So they're saying that it's looking like it's going to take them a few more years before they're going to be able to start building on this damn dream house. So Marcel says that at this point that he's not putting no time limit on it, that he's just going to, just take it as it comes. And that just means, bitch, we're not about to be doing nothing because we ain't got the money to do it. That's what it gave me. Okay. So I said, let me give y'all a date to where y'all can go ahead on and look forward to this damn house, okay, to be done. Because I'm tired of hearing about this shit. I'm tired of y'all pulling up over that bedrock and we still seeing machinery and damn rocks. So go ahead and put it down for the 24th of February, okay? That's a great date to go ahead and put on your calendar, honey, the 24th of February, all right? So we ain't got to keep hearing about this shit because I got stuff to do. And even when I don't want to hear it, okay? Moving on. So Tisha and Marcel, honey, they're in their confessional. Tisha says, she said, Martha, I realized that it's going to be another 2-3 years before they're able to, before I can have move into my dream home. It says that they're going to be moving from their house that they're in, which is their, I guess, I don't know if it's their rental house, into an apartment, which I don't understand that. Because they're saying they're getting some type of renovations or something done in their house. I don't understand why you're spending all this money on this house that you guys are living in if you're planning on saving to be buying and or building your dream home. I don't understand why you just don't stay there and save your money. That's just stupid to keep moving around like that. I mean, what the hell kind of house y'all trying to build? Are y'all trying to build a Rapunzel castle? Like, what the hell? What are y'all trying to do? I don't understand it. But anywho, so Marcel tells Tisha, said that y'all didn't tell me about Tiffany. So they kind of jumping around. He sits down and he's telling Tisha, y'all didn't tell me about Tiffany. And then he proceeds to tell Tisha and her blonde wig what transpired between Tiffany and Martell and him at Black whenever they had the conversation, when they questioned Tiffany about the conversation she had with Sheree, okay, at Martell's Upscale magazine event. Y'all remember. So Marceau, of course, tries to say that Tiffany doesn't have it all, meaning trying to say that she's crazy for the things that she was saying to Sheree. All right. So then Marceau, like I said, he was also pressed about Tiffany asking Sheree, how does it feel to be a cheater? Which everybody knows Martell is a cheater. I don't know why that's surprising. And so is Marceau. So I don't even know why he's even so invested in this conversation, because it had nothing to do with him. Marceau, you cheat too. Damn. So ask Tisha how she feel about being with a damn known cheater, because your ass cheat too. Okay, do I need to pull the proof out? I got time. So Tisha says, yes, especially she cheated before. She cheated. That's how Tisha said. She cheated. She cheated before on her first husband. Okay, that's what Tisha was saying. Yeah, Tiffany cheated. Tiffany cheated on her first husband. I was like, shit your ass over there and keep packing in boxes and shut it up, child. You don't know who's cheating besides your own damn husband. Says, so Tisha says that Tiffany cheated, honey. Says Tiffany cheated too. And Tisha says that Tiffany is doing a lot, especially with people that she's just meeting, child. So then Marceau says that Tiffany's an habitual line stepper, meaning that she continues to step over boundaries and continue to put her mouth in situations that she should not. So next scene, okay, is where Tiffany and Lewis. Tiffany pulls up in her SUV, child. She's going to go tell Lewis what happened with this situation. Lewis looks like he's working. It look like it's dark. He's getting ready to have a conversation with Tiffany about the conversation that took place at Black between Martell and Marcel. So Tiffany tells Lewis, says that she went to Black to discuss business with Martell, and says that that they came at her very heavy. Marceau and Martell came at her with everything that they had, and they never got around to talking about business. Okay, so Lewis' facial expression was like, hold up, wait, what? He was kind of showing that he was kind of getting a little upset that they came at her like that, the way she was telling him. All right. So Tiffany goes on to say that Sheree felt a way about our conversation, and she told Martell, and they came at me about it. So then Lewis said, hold up, two guys came at you about a conversation that you had with a female or another woman, rather? So Tiffany was like, yeah, that part. Says that I asked her, how does it feel to date a known cheater? So then Lewis was like, his facial expression was like, wait, what? What, Tiffany? So Lewis says, babe, says you really asked that directly? Like, he's surprised how Tiffany is just so out with it. So Tiffany says, yeah, I did. Says that people were saying that he cheated. Says I cheated before and you cheated before. So how does it feel for you? How does it feel for you to cheat, right? Says that like, can you hold your own or not? Says that all of a sudden, they started grilling me about Sheree. Okay, so this is what she's telling Lewis. She's catching Lewis up on the conversation that was had. So Lewis says if Sheree felt away, then she's a grown woman. She should have said something. Okay, and said that she didn't look mad. It says that you should have said, I'm not going to answer that, or I'm not having this conversation. All right, so this is what he's telling Tiffany. So Tiffany then goes on to say that I'm very opinionated and I'm just not afraid to ask tough questions. And I'm like, yeah, we know that, Tiffany. We've seen you in action many times on the show. All right. So then the production keeps flipping back and forth between Tiffany and Lewis and Tisha and Marceau as they're discussing this conversation that was had at Black between Tiffany, Marceau, and Martell. Okay, so yeah, so then Marceau and Tisha, they're shown again where Marceau tells Tisha that Tiffany asks, is your PUSSY strong enough to sustain him, meaning Martell? So Tisha, she looks like, what? Tisha says, so she actually said the P word like she never heard it before. Okay, she says, if it was me, I would have cussed her out. Because you don't know me well enough. I'm like, girl, shut up. You just want to have a moment. You ain't cussing nobody out. You probably would have started crying because that's your go-to. So then Marceau says that I'm trying to figure out how she could say those things. And Tiffany looked me in the windows of my soul and said, I like blended families. Well, you ain't got no soul. First of all, let's start there. And she won't even talking to you. She was talking to Martell. You interjected yourself in this conversation because you needed some screen time. We ain't been seeing you on the show this season so far. So you use this opportunity to say, hey, y'all have y'all conversation here, y'all meeting here at Black. So that'll give me an opportunity to mosey my thick hip ass over there and sit down and get all up in the business so I can get some camera time too, because they ain't really been filming me. And y'all know they don't get paid unless they film. So they haven't shown Marcel much this season. So this was his opportunity to have his little moment and jump in their conversation and make it his own. So he was more invested in this conversation, it looks like to me, than Martell was. And this situation happened with a person that he was supposedly dating, which we all know was total lies, okay? So Tisha says, that's the thing with Tiffany, says that she says things, then she backtrack. Who that sound like? Tisha, you do the same damn thing, okay? So then Marcel says she tried to make it seem innocent, like I don't know what I did, okay? So then Marcel also goes on to say that Martell got onto her real good. It says that I would have asked, how many sex partners have you had, okay, in the last 2 years? And so Tisha was like, now that would be disrespectful to her marriage, Marcel, okay? Like you care about any respect towards anybody else's marriage, Tisha, but you want everybody to have respect towards yours. Okay. Put some respect on my marriage, but you don't have respect on anybody else's marriage. So then Tisha says, oh, that's so disrespectful, telling Marcel, like, as if she can check him, because Marcel does what the hell he wants to do. So then Marcel continues to tell Tisha that everything said in the conversation, he proceeded to tell Tisha everything else that was said in the conversation. So then Tisha goes on to say that Tiffany thinks that she can get away with things because she's a pretty girl. And that kind of landed a certain way with Tisha, because she don't like pretty girls, because she's not a pretty girl without that Maybelline. Okay. With that, we talked about it already in the pop-in. Without that Maybelline, Tisha, you are not anything desirable to look at. So you are mad at Tiffany because she can be fresh-faced. Tiffany is pretty, but she does have a very slick mouth, and she's very nosy, and she jumps in situations she should not. So why would her being pretty have anything to do with what she had to say? I think that you are putting 20 on 10 in that situation. We know you hate pretty girls, Tisha. We know you hate that, and your mama do too. Anybody that looks anything better than light skin with pretty hair like Tiffany, of course you don't like her. You had already made up your mind when you met Tiffany that you didn't like her because she was a pretty girl before she even opened her mouth, and that's the problem I have with her and her mama. If y'all sitting in the bushes, thank you for being here. Go and hit that like while you're here too. Moving on. So then Marcel goes on to say that she's not that pretty. Well, she is your type. She is your type, Marcel. So I think that she is pretty. You like Tiffany. You just don't like the fact that she run her mouth the way she do. Okay. And if you could get away with sneaking around with her, you probably would, because she is your type. She light skinned with pretty hair, and that's what you like. Okay. So back to Tiffany and Lewis. Production flips back to Tiffany and Lewis. Tiffany says that Marcel called her a Karen. Lewis said, what? So then Tiffany says that I asked Marcel, are you calling me a Karen because I'm half white? And says that Marcel asked me, what the F is wrong with you? Okay, so the whole time she's talking to Lewis, telling him what was said. Lewis is looking like, wait, what? So he couldn't believe it. So Lewis says, so he actually showed attitude towards you. Like, what the fuck? He was on that. So Tiffany, the more she's telling Lewis, the more he's kind of getting hyped up and crunk. Like, okay, I'm ready to tear into some ass. Like, don't tell me no more. He's kind of getting it's a build up to him ready to pop off on somebody's ass. Okay. And Tiffany's just landing on real thing. Oh yeah, and he had said this to me. Oh, and he said this. Oh, and he said what the fuck to me. Oh, and you know I'm your pregnant wife, right? So, so she's landing on like that. And meanwhile, Lewis is just like, he's taking it in and storing it in his mental Rolodex, and he's ready to pop the hell off on somebody. All right. So Tiffany says, yeah. Says you really need to talk to your friends. I was just like, girl, Tiffany, you need to stop talking. Yeah, he do need to talk to them, but let's start with you. Stop talking. Because had you not done that, then y'all would not be in the place that you're in. Okay. So Lewis says, I'm definitely going to have a conversation, because Martell knows that he can always come to me and contact me. You know, he says that they came to you themselves and bought Marcel. Said that they had no right to talk to you. If he had an issue, he should have came to me. Why would it take two men to come to a woman that has nothing to do with business. Okay, so he was mad about that. So Tiffany says, well, Marcel and Martell said that they're going to have a conversation with my husband. Okay, so he kind of looking like, yeah, okay. So then Lewis says, well, why not say that in the beginning? Says, who the hell do they think that they are going to my wife like that? Okay. So then Tiffany, she's kind of enjoying it. She's kind of smiling like, yeah, I kind of got him hyped up. He mad. He ready to tear off in somebody's ass like, this is where I need you to be right here, baby. So then Lewis says in his confessional, he says that I'm a very peaceful person. But one thing that I don't do is play about my family or my wife. He says they're attacking her about small things, and that's an issue in my eyes. So he was kind of upset about that. All right. So then Tiffany says, that's why I love you. Okay, in the confessional, she's sitting there. She says, that's why I love you. You're my protector, my hubby. I love you. And she starts rubbing on Lewis's head. I was just like, okay, Tiffany. So then Lewis says that they're going to get it all. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're going to get it all because at this point, he hyped up. He mad. Oh, yeah, they're going to get it all. They're going to get it all. There ain't going to be no backing off. That's him, honey. He's all hyped up. Yeah, motherfucker's gonna really feel it since he want it. Yeah, that's what he gonna get it all. He getting it all, so he hyped up. He on that. Yeah, straight up. Yeah, he about to get it all. That's what he on like that. I'm like, all right, bro, bring it down. Like, bring it down now. Bring it down. Just save all that energy for when you see him. Yeah, they gonna get it all. Ain't no backing down. When I see him, yeah, that's what he was on. I was like, okay. So then production kind of flip-flop scenes again. Back to Tisha and Marcel, child. So Tisha says, Martha, that's a lot to take in. How are you going to deal with this? And Tiffany said that at the baby shower, the baby shower was coming up. How you going to deal with this situation with Tiffany? So Marcel says, if it ain't gossip, then it's gossip. He says, I'm just being messy. So then Tisha says, well, this baby shower is going to be very interesting, meaning that she going to get there and start some mess. And we're going to talk about that here in a few. So then Marcel, of course, y'all know he says, let's skip the baby shower. Let's skip the baby shower meatballs. I want the popcorn. And I was like, well, you know where to go get it because you used to work there at the movie theater. Since you want so much damn popcorn, your ass need to go back to the movie theater with all them damn bills y'all got over there. But moving right along, okay? Next scene is Maurice and Kimmy riding in the car, going to the doctor, honey. I think they could have left this scene out because this kind of irritated me, this scene. They kind of drawn it out a little bit too long, much longer than it needed to be drawn out. They won't really talk about much except the fact that since Kimmy's been sick and going to her little chemo and all that, that she just has not, she haven't really been having any desires to be sexual with Maurice, which, child, I would, even if you didn't have chemo, I don't know how you have the desire to have any type of sexual anything with Maurice because he just looks But anywho, so Kimmy says that she's been cleared for radiation after several other tests. Says that she's very nervous, but she's ready to get started. Then Maurice, he says, oh, but your eyebrows are growing back in. I was just like, this scene was a whole snooze fest, y'all. I was just like, ugh. So then Kimmy says, yes, I'm happy to see that my hair is growing back. So then Maurice says that you're pretty with or without hair, okay? So Kimmy says, we talked about more sex prior to this. With this happening, it's actually less sex, and I knew that it has to affect you. So she's telling him, hey, I know this has to affect you because I ain't really been in the mood. I ain't been feeling it. And I know that you a whole nympho and you like it 2-3 times a day. And I ain't been able to do that because I don't feel it. I don't feel pretty. I feel unpretty over here. Like the TLC song, she's feeling unpretty since she's been going through this. So Maurice says that it is what it is. Says that I want you and that's it. Okay, Maurice. So Kimmy says, pretty much, babe, says that the sex that we've had is just for you because in that moment, I'm not really waking up horny like that and wanting to get some. Says that I know you need some. So pretty much that's why I'm doing it. I'm not doing it because I want to or because I'm so attracted to you. And, I just really just lay there and he just climbed on top of me, like Celie said, to do his business. And I just lay there and let him finish. Okay. So you just pretty much in there with the with the belts on the headboard, rocking like Celia and Mr. was in there. I just laid back and let him just handle his business. That's kind of what Kimmy was giving, child. Because she was like, I ain't feeling this shit. I just lay there and let you do what you gotta do. So then Maurice says that, so you're forcing yourself? And Kim was like, I'm not forcing. I'm just not getting this, I'm just not getting the same thing out of the deal. Okay. And so she's like, I'm just trying to let you get you. I'm just not feeling it, you know. So Maurice, of course, he's sitting there looking all goofy. Then he goes into his confessional and he says that sex is just a natural occurrence, that I kind of have to look past it. And I said, bullshit, you a nympho. And Kimmy already said last season that you be out till 5 o'clock in the morning. So y'all not about to play me on this damn season right here and be on this whole, oh, Kimmy's not in the mood for it, so I'm just going to stick around the house until she get in the mood. Bullshit. You going out there doing what you need to do. Y'all need to stop this mess. As much as he likes sex, you were begging her when y'all went on the little couples retreat that you were at least 2 times while we're on the retreat. Like, he is just really into getting it when he wanted. And now that Kimmy's in this position, that don't mean that you don't have desires. So what are you doing in order to fulfill those desires? You stepping out. When Kimmy goes to bed, you get dressed and you step out to whoever it is that's available to you. And I'll say allegedly. Them Scott brothers is a piece of work. It's a piece of work. He lied to you about that whole situation about Atlanta. You caught him in a lie then. So he's already showing you signs that he's not being 100% true to you. So why do you think that he's going to sit here and say, well, whenever you get back in the mood, when you get done with chemo and dealing with this whole cancer situation, then I'll be here. Yeah, you're going to be there because you ain't got nowhere else to go. But at the end of the day, you still getting yours. Okay. Y'all know. I got to keep it all the way 1,000 over here. Y'all know I'm not capping when I say that. I don't see Maurice just sitting there and just not doing anything. I just don't see it. I don't see it. And Kimmy, I'm sorry, Kimmy. I'm sorry that you're sick and you're going through what you're going through, baby. But you need to open your eyes and realize your husband was not being 100% with you even last season when you had to get that emotional support dog because he wasn't there for you and you were sick then. And now you to the point where you got to take chemo and you can't really, you don't have no libido and all this other stuff you were saying. He getting it, just not from you. Now, all right, he getting it, but just not from you. I'm just saying. And then when he do get it from you, it's because he don't want you to feel like he ain't getting it somewhere else. And allegedly, damn, we got to say allegedly. Okay, so he says that sex is just a natural occurrence, that I have to look past it. Says before or after you get back in from those, and I was saying before or after you get back from those late night outings at 5 a.m. coming in, because that's what Kimmy said. Slipped up and said it at the reunion that he's out till 5. So Kimmy says that they never told me, meaning the doctor, that my libido would drop. Okay. So she don't really have no sexual desires. This whole thing, I just wanted to skip this part because it was just so long drawn out. So Kimmy also says that Marcel also says that Kimmy has initiated sex about 50% of the time since June. Kimmy was saying, no, that's not true. I was just like, she says that she comes over and throws her leg up on him and she just kind of backs it up on him or whatever. Like she's still trying to be sexy towards him. And I was just like, barf, barf. Like, we don't really want to hear that. She throws her leg over me and she kind of scoots back on me. I was just like, y'all could have left that shit out. Next scene is where Kimmy and her friend Andrea, they meet up at some pool hall to kind of catch up, where Kimmy then she starts telling this friend about her low sex drive and how she wishes that her sex drive wasn't like it is, and how unpretty she feels now that her hair has fallen out. She don't really see herself as she used to since then. Her friend's just like, what? You're pretty. So she's just kind of trying to, keep her from feeling like she's not still pretty. So that whole scene could have been left out too. And we're not going to really spend a whole bunch of time on it because they were just really going back and forth about, oh, girl, yeah, you are pretty. Don't think that way about yourself. And Kim was, I just don't feel like having sex with Maurice. Da, da, da. So same bullshit they would talk about in the car. She just relayed that whole thing to her friend. We're going to move on. I ain't even going to stay on it because we don't need to. Next scene. Tiffany and Lewis, honey, they're at the baby shower. And guests are starting to arrive. All right. And it's being held at this huge, big, white 2-story house, which we all know is not Tiffany and Lewis's house. I think they rented a space or maybe a friend's house. I'm not sure whose house it was. Tisha arrives alone per usual. And Nell and Chris, they later arrive with a gift. Tisha also has a gift in hand when she arrives. Kim and Maurice arrive with no gift in hand. But Maurice did go up there and fix him a big old plate, though. I cannot stand people that do that. And not to get off subject too much. If you come into an event, especially a baby shower, bring a gift. And don't be up there the first one in line fixing this big, huge ass plate like you at Golden Corral, like Maurice did. I said, look at his plate. and his ass didn't even bring no gift. Like, that is just so trifling. Sit your ass down and let everybody else eat, then you go up there because you didn't bring a gift. That is just so trifling. So the event space, like I said, is very cute. They have everything set up buffet style. The colors are real pretty. They have a little photo section where you can go over and take photos with like Tiffany, you know, when she's showing her baby bump. She looked real radiant and beautiful in her little green dress. She looked real pretty. So Stormy and El Chapo arrived with no gift. Okay. So Tiffany, she's very excited for everyone to come and celebrate baby Ace. All right. So they're taking pictures and they're eating, etc. Tiffany and Lewis, they are greeting everyone as they come in. Tisha, she tries to sit in one seat, which is next to Nell, but Kimmy tells her that that's Maurice's seat, so she then moves over to the seat on the other side of Kimmy, which is where she sits. All right. Meanwhile, Marcel still is not there. So she sits next to Kimmy when Maurice walks up and asks Tisha, "Where's Marcel?" So Tisha was like, "I'm not sure. He's not gonna make it." Okay. I said, "Well, he's probably out damn cheating, per usual." So then Kimmy says that he had the bell on the baby shower, huh? So Tisha said, "Well, he's not really feeling Tiffany right now from the conversation at Black." But my thing is, again, why is he not feeling Tiffany? Because the conversation was between Martel and Tiffany. So why is he feeling overly invested in a conversation that had nothing to do with him? What you mad for? They weren't talking to you. This had nothing to do with you. You inserted yourself and conveniently made yourself be upset about something that you weren't even in. So what you not coming to the baby shower for? Because you mad about something Tiffany said when Tiffany wasn't even talking to you. He's so lame. So Tisha tells everyone at the table what Tiffany says to Sheree at Tiffany's baby shower, which I thought was very damn disrespectful. You talking about this woman at her event. You sitting there eating and drinking up her food, eating her food, drinking her alcohol and everything else, talking about her at her event, which I feel like that's very disrespectful. And had I heard that shit, I would have told you to gather your shit and take it that way. Yeah, leave the plate here. Yeah, don't even take the plate. Take it that way. Because that's disrespectful. You're not going to come in my event and talk shit about me behind my back, okay? That was her intention from the start because she had already told Marcel in the other scene the baby shower was going to be interesting. So she had already made up in her mind she was going to come there and be the same little sneaky ass, messy ass tilapia Tisha that her ass always is. She's so damn sneaky. Okay, so she's sitting there being two-faced per usual at the table with Nell, Tisha, Kimmy, Chris Fetcher, Stormy, Courtney, and Maurice. Okay. Oh, messy ass. I don't even know why she came. So Tisha said that Marcel says that Tiffany was very rude. Tisha's asked Nell says that how does Mel feel about them dating other people? Like that's any of your business. You need to be worried about your husband dating other people. Your makeup artist, to be exact, Tisha. That's where your focus should be. You so worried about Mel and what Mel and Martel got going on and what's going on between them and the kids and everything else. You need to be worried about your husband messing around with your makeup artist. That should have been your worry. Miss, I'm going to the baby shower to be messy and tell everybody else's business, but don't want nobody speaking on your marriage. But let's continue. So Nell says, as far as Martel dating other women, says that she's all for it. She's just not ready to meet anyone yet. Okay. So, of course, then while they're talking, Melody arrives, of course, with gift in hand. She had on this pretty blue suit with like it was a white suit with like different color flowers in it with the blue. It looked real pretty on her. Her hair was giving. I was like, look at Mel giving Beyonce. She was giving Beyonce, honey. I was like, you better serve the girls. So, Melody and Tiffany, they greet each other. Tiffany tells Mel, oh, you look cute. And she said, oh, girl, but you look cute. No, girl, you look cute. And Tiffany, oh, I like this hair, though. And Melody's, oh, girl, but I like you. You're radiant, girl. You know that whole thing when girls meet each other. Y'all know we kind of lay it on real thick. So Mel says that I came to this shower to support Tiffany and Big Lou, and I hope everyone brings their good energy, too. She says, if they have any left. And I was like, girl, you have no idea because you ain't got to the table yet. That's where all the bullshit resides. But carry on. So then Stormy asks, where's Marcel? So Tisha says, well, him and Martel got into it with Tiffany, so they're upset with her. Once again, I'm not sure what Marcel had to do with it, but okay. So Tisha proceeds to tell Stormy and everyone at the table about the conversation with Tiffany and Martell and Marcel. Tisha says that Tiffany also asked her is her vagina, but she, the P-U-S-S-Y word, good enough to keep him. Chris Fletcher, when they panned the camera, he looked very uncomfortable, you guys, with this conversation that they were talking about, okay, about somebody else's vagina. He was sitting there like, he took a sip of his drink and he was just like, whoa, I don't know if I want to be sitting over here while this is going on. Okay, so this is kind of like, this should have been like a girl talk. Maybe the girls should have went away and talked about this away from everybody, but they just sat there and they talked about this in front of their husbands, and it was hella awkward. So Stormy says, oh, she didn't tell me that, because y'all know she already had a conversation with Tiffany last episode at the little coffee shop. So then Chris Fletcher and Maurice, like I said, and Courtney, he was sitting there as well, Stormy's husband, El Chapo, they were all sitting there looking surprised, like, what? So Tisha starts laughing, saying, I don't know, because this is what she lives to do, honey. Lay it on real thick and then stand back and look at everybody's reaction like, okay, yeah, I'm getting a reaction out of them. This is what I came to do. Y'all know that's how Tisha is. So then Melody, of course, joined them at the table while this conversation is taking place, which was hella awkward. By this time, she doesn't know what's being said. She's just sitting down. She's greeting everybody. Hey, guys. Hey, how y'all doing? How y'all doing, everybody? Hi, Nell. Hi. Y'all know I got to do it in her voice. So Nell says, so are you going to have the conversation with Mel still sitting here? I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I don't know if Nell was trying to open the floor to say, well, hey, they talking about you, or was she trying to be messy as well? Okay, that's what I was trying to figure out in that moment. It was kind of giving two of those for me. Like, are y'all going to keep talking about Mel? Why she wasn't here? Y'all going to keep this conversation going? Or what are we doing? Okay. So Melody, she's kind of looking like, bitch, what y'all talking about? Okay, because she's just sitting down and she's like, okay, what y'all talking about over here? So then Tisha says to Mel, says, Martell is dating. So we were talking about a situation before you came to the table. So we don't want to make you feel uncomfortable talking about it, says, while you're here. So Melody's looking like, what are you talking about? Okay. So Mel says that you ain't going to make me feel uncomfortable about talking about anything. Because you pretty much can't make somebody uncomfortable when they don't care, especially when it comes to Martell. She don't give a hot damn about Martell and what he do. Okay, but Tisha thought she can get a rise out of her and kind of put her in a position to where she would be uncomfortable and try to throw Mel off. But Mel always stay a step ahead when it comes to Tisha and her bullshit. And I think Tisha should know that by now. But so Nell says, so did you hear about what Tiffany said about Sheree? Talking to Melody. Melody still looking confused, like, yeah, no, I didn't hear nothing about that. Like, what's going on? Y'all catch me up because I'm tired of all these damn questions. So Nell then says that Tiffany says, do you think that your PUSSY is good enough to keep Martell? And then Chris Fletcher looks like, bitch, why you come out acting like that? Like, I can't take you nowhere, Nell. Like, why would you say that? Okay. And she said the word, like the PUSSY. Chris Fletcher looked like, damn, Nell, I can't take your ass nowhere because you just be doing too much. So Tisha says, golly, Nell, like, why would you say it like that? But that's what you were saying, Tisha. Like, why are you acting so surprised that it's coming out when that's what you wanted to come out? You weren't bold enough to say the PUSSY. You weren't as raw as Nell was, but you wanted that conversation to come out because immediately she looked at Mel to see what her reaction was, and she had a grin on her face, like, yeah, bitch. Like, that's where I want you. You embarrassed. Like, that's where I want to see you. But Mel was just like, still unbothered. Like, what else? What else y'all got? Mel was just sitting there like, yeah, I'm still unbothered. Like, what? That's all you got? Like, what? So, Melody then, she says that I'm about to go get some food. She says, and because y'all know Melody's gonna eat if she don't do nothing else. Now, she was a little irritated by the conversation that they were having, but she looked up there and was like, okay, y'all sitting here, y'all messy as hell and y'all eating, bitch. I'm about to go get my plate too. So y'all keep talking about me. I'm about to go fill up my plate. All right. So Mel, she gets up to go get her a plate. She says, yeah, y'all can keep discussing. She says, I'm gonna go get my plate. That's what she tells them. So then Melody, she goes in her confessional and she says that one thing about me, I know when to say deuces. She says, when I don't want to be a part of a conversation that she says that I'm not sure why my presence summons certain conversations. She says, so soon as I sit down at the table, here they go. All right. She says, that's why I be staying to myself. And I'm like, girl, I don't blame you. Because Stormy and Tisha, they gonna always find a way to try to throw Mel off and bring up some drama. So then Stormy says, so you don't know Sheree, Mel? After Mel comes back to the table getting her plate. Stormy says, so you don't know Sheree, Mel? Okay. So Mel says, I met her years ago. Okay. So then Stormy says, well, Sheree made it seem like that you were a fan and that you drove to see her and drove to her book signing for a picture. And Mel was like, her face is like, what? Like, that's all lies. Like, no, that's certainly not how it happened. And what happened was that Melody was actually a paid guest to appear at the same location and or event that Sheree was at. Sheree was doing a book signing, a book that nobody's ever bought on Earth or any other surrounding planets, okay? We ain't never heard of this book. Ain't nobody bought this book, but probably her and damn cross-eyed Bob, and his ass ain't ready because he can't see it. But at the end of the day, Melody was there at a paid event where she was paid to speak on a stage for that particular event. So she happened to see Sheree. She knows, you know, Sheree by seeing her on the show. So yeah, she took a picture with her, not because she was fanning out like, oh my God, that's Sheree. It was like, hi, how you doing? Let me take a picture with you, blah, blah, blah. She was there with Tank as well. So it wasn't like she was fanning out like, oh my God, that's Sheree. No, it was not like that. And she already said it on her IG. She's already addressed it, and we're going to go ahead and address it here. It was not like that. So then Nell says, so you don't have a problem with her? I was like, Nell, why are you flip-flopping? Because one minute you're friends with Mel and you're talking about her and her personal business. Then you get with the girls and it's seeming like you're trying to come at her with some unnecessary bullshit that they trying to start. When you should be on Melody's side and trying to defuse this mess and staying up out of it and not still throwing logs on the fire. Because at the end of the day, Melody is here gracing them with her presence. She can be anywhere else doing anything else, but she decided to come there and support Tiffany. And then you're sitting there feeding into the same bullshit that they're trying to start on this mess about Sheree. It's like you're trying to make everybody think that Sheree is this person that somebody should be just like, oh my God, and over. And she ain't nobody. She don't have a storyline. Sheree ain't shit. Sheree ain't nobody that Melody should be feeling any type of way about, even if Martell is fooling with her. Melody's like, I don't give a hot damn about no damn Sheree. No, I ain't no fan. Fan your ass somewhere and sit down. So Melody says, I don't know. She says, my issue is like with one person, meaning Martell. By that time, I don't know if she summons him, but as soon as she said that, in walks the two cheaters, Marcel and Martell together. I said, see them two being together, tell me everything I need to know. Y'all ass is late because you was probably out on the whole stroll in Huntsville. Marcel had on all these damn fake ass chains that he bought from Amazon and this damn hat and this same distressed jeans his ass wear everywhere and that dirty ass looking distressed jean jacket his ass had on. They look like they was out hoe strolling. That's what it looked like. Martell looked like he was out hoe strolling. Same old tight ass pants that he was wearing. Them funky ass church shoes and that long Church of God in Christ bishop coat that his ass had on. So then Maurice, of course, Maurice says that hold on. Oh, he says is Lewis here? He asked, was Lewis here? So then Martell and Marceau, they come to the table where everyone is sitting and they're greeting everybody. All right. So Marceau, he comes around and he gives Tisha this side hug, which was kind of awkward as hell. It's kind of like a church hug. No nothing towards this hug. Nothing. I was kind of looking like, are y'all separated? Like, what's going on with y'all? You could tell something was off between the two of them. Like, he gave her this side hug. He didn't even kiss her on the cheek. It was like a side hug. She was like, all right. It was like that. I was like, what the hell going on with y'all? No love, no intimacy, no nothing. I was just like, wow. So then Melody says, if you ever want to test me to see if I would leave when Martell is here, well, here you go. She says, I'm out the door. So Melody gave him one of these. So Marceau then says that, man, I need to get a seat. I need a seat. Because by the time they got there, everybody was already sitting down. There were no seats. Martell, he was standing there, his opportune time to stand there and be smiling and looking at Mel. Mel was like, yeah, I got to go because I ain't here for this shit. He wanted any opportunity. He done went around and greeted everybody, but he knew not to even speak to Mel because during this time, y'all know they in court for the children. So Mel ain't seeing it for him. She ain't speaking to him. She didn't even acknowledge him. He went around and spoke to everybody else, skipped over her and went to the person beside her. Hey, how you doing? Then goes over and stands over across from her and then just be standing there staring at her with this stupid ass smirk on his face. So she just kind of looking like, yeah, I'm about to get the hell out of here because this is what I'm not about to do. So then Mel was like, look, after Marcel said, yeah, I need a seat. Mel was like, you need a seat? You can have my seat. He was like, what, you get ready to leave? Mel was like, yeah, I'm out. I'm about to go. So Melody gets up, walks right on out the door, and she leaves. So Marcel, he's kind of looking like, so he kind of felt away. You could tell he felt away because Mel did not want to be in the same room with Marcel. All right. So Mel was like, says, God bless you on your journey. That's what she told him. So Mel got up, baby, and she left the baby shower. Okay. Yeah, child, I would have left too. Because Marcel, baby, I would not have wanted to look at his ass after everything they were going through during that time. So Lewis, he goes up to Marcel and he says, hey, Marcel, let me talk to you right quick for a second. So then Marcel made sure to get a plate, of course, before he got wait a minute. So Marcel made sure to get him something to eat first because y'all know he ain't got no food at home, right? And he also had him a little cupcake as well. So while they standing outside talking, he was tearing that damn cupcake up. I said, see, I thought you had a personal chef over there because you eating like your ass ain't ate in 40 days and 40 nights like Jesus did in the Bible, baby. But I was just like, hey, go off. All right. So then Marcel says to Marceau as they're getting ready to go outside, says, hey, Marceau says, come on, let's talk. Big Lou want to talk for a second. Now that I did not agree with because I do not feel like Marceau should have been outside in that particular conversation because, as I said before, the situation should have been spoken about with Big Lou and only Marcel because they were the only two that should have had that conversation. It was Lewis's wife and Marcel was the person who had the problem and or vendetta against her. So I feel like had the two of them talked, just the two of them, that they probably would have gotten a lot further, a little bit quicker. But the simple fact that Marceau went out there and was putting in his 2 cents that nobody asked him for, that he really needed to hold on to with his broke ass, I didn't feel like he needed to be there. He shouldn't have said anything. So the fact that Marcel called him out there, I thought was a whole bitch ass move. I just do. I'm sorry. So they all go outside like on this little patio area to talk. And yeah, so Marcel says in confessional, she says, I ain't gonna lie, says I came here to talk to Big Lou, you know, that Melody is avoiding me. He felt away about that shit. Melody is avoiding me and I ain't got time for that. You do, because you stood back and was staring at her. You were mad at the fact that she didn't acknowledge you and that made you feel a whole way and embarrassed the fuck out of you in front of everybody because everybody knew why she left. As soon as you came in, she was out the door. She didn't give you anything but dust and you were mad at that shit. You thought you were gonna sashay your ass up in there and pretend that you and Mel was in a good spot. Mel was like, hell no, I gotta go. So Lewis then says, what happened yesterday, man? So he opens the conversation up to ask Marcel, what happened yesterday, man? So Marceau jumping in. Why is he even speaking up when he is talking to Marcel? Marceau jumped in. Well, what did you hear? I said, take your bitch ass in there somewhere and sit down. Didn't Melody give you her chair? You should have kept your ass cheeks in the chair and not come out here and put your mouth into this business. So then Lewis says, I want to know what was truly said before I act on that. Okay. So then Marceau says that, how do you know something happened? See what I'm talking about? Smart ass mouth. He's so smart in the mouth. I would have cussed him out. But then Lewis says, well, my wife came to me and she felt some type of way. Marceau says she felt a type of way. So he's doing all the talking. Marcel is just sitting over there eating the hell out of that cupcake. Like I said, his ass ain't ate in 40 days and 40 nights like the Lord, honey. So then Lewis says 100% says that you guys approached her about that situation. Okay. So then Marcel finally, honey, after he done wolfed down that cupcake, says that we were actually meeting about the Selma event. Lies. They never mentioned anything about the Selma event. They didn't get there. His whole motive was to talk to Tiffany about the situation and or conversation that happened between she and Sheree. He didn't want to talk about Selma. He didn't mention Selma not one time while they were sitting there. He wanted to talk about what Tiffany said to Sheree because he was mad that his narcissistic ass was put on blast. That's what it was. He didn't give a freak about Selma or any type of business, anything. And that's his problem. You so focused on what everybody else got to say and what everything else is going on around you, Marcel, versus business. That's why your ass broke now, because you so focused on shit you should not be focused on. But let's continue. Okay. So Lewis says, what did she say to Sheree? Says that I know she says, how does it feel to date a cheater? Okay. So Marceau then says, oh, it gets a whole lot worse. Once again, shut your ass up, Marceau. So then Marcel says, well, calling me a cheater, do you think that your Says they're calling me a cheater. And then she also says that, do you think that your PUSSY is good enough to keep him, you know? So he felt a way about that. Then Lewis says, to me, Sheree is a grown woman. So then Marcel says that there's no other human that will say that. I was just like, boy, the ratchet assholes that you run around with, I'm sure they talk like that. And I'm sure you enjoy them talking like that. So now all of a sudden when Tiffany talk like that, you got a problem. Okay. Them ratchet assholes that you run with. Tisha's makeup artist is ghetto as hell. So I'm pretty sure she done said pussy here and there a time or two. That's not the first time you've heard it. And I'm pretty sure you talk like that to them same little thoughts that you run with. But let's continue, child. So then Lewis says that 2 grown men going up to my wife. So then Martell kind of interrupts and says, we didn't go up to her. We didn't go up to her. Says that we had a meeting to discuss business. Once again, lies. There was no business discussed. So then Lewis says that meeting turned into what? Then Martell says that it was because of a conversation that she had with my guest. So now Sheree is a guest at my party. Says that I was going to come to you. When were you going to come to him? After you got upset? So then says that she was right there. So I might as well mention it. Meaning that Tiffany was right there at Black whenever she came, when they would get ready to talk about business, but he decided to go ahead and approach her about that when, like I just said, that was what you were going to do from the start. You didn't want to talk to her about no damn Selma. So then Lewis says, where'd the Karen comment come in at? Okay. So then Marcel and Martell, they bust out laughing like they thought the shit was funny. So then Marcel says that this can't be the first time you heard that, meaning Karen, okay? The word Karen. Or that she was perceived as being a Karen. So then Lewis says, what's a Karen? What's a Karen? Like he didn't know what a Karen was. He's like, give me the definition of what y'all think of a Karen. Think what a Karen is. Is it a biracial person? Is it a naive person? Like what's a Karen? So then Marcel says a person who shares their opinions when they feel no one else's opinions matter while being in other people's business, pretty much is what he was saying. So then Martell says, I asked why she asked that. Okay. So then Lewis says that my wife knows how you feel about family and she's going to speak her mind. Okay. So then Marcel was like, stop it. Stop it. Cutting Lewis off whenever he said that because he didn't agree with what Lewis was saying in terms of Tiffany saying what she said because she knows how he likes family. So then Lewis goes in confessional and he says, what does Marcel have to do with this? My point exactly. So he says, it's really starting to piss me off. And me too, Lewis, being you here. So then Lewis says to Marcel, says, you're justifying what you did, okay, coming to my wife. So then Marcel says, right. You know, so then Lewis says, so next time something happens, I'm going to go to your wife. How about that? So then Marcel says, and you're not going to go to my wife. All right. So then Lewis says, don't go to my fucking wife then. So he's getting hyped up. I was like, okay, now y'all might want to pipe it down because Big Lou, like he got a little weight on him now. So then Maurice then comes outside. Okay. He hear that they getting loud. This him sitting over there at the table trying to hear what they're saying. Okay. Instead of him just focusing on what's going on at the table and Tisha over there telling the thick tongue chronicles. This him leaning back. Because he heard, everybody getting loud out there. So he kind of ran back in the chair like, they're getting a little loud. This is my cue to go out there and be nosy and stick my nose in some shit that ain't my business, like my brother doing. Okay, same shit he did when they were at Madani. He didn't have nothing to do with what was going on, but he stuck his nose in it. So once again, he's going to do the same thing. So Maurice says that things are getting a little loud. Let me go outside and jump in the middle of things like I did over there at Madani. Let me go over there. Mm-hmm. So then Maurice says that Tiffany, he goes out and he puts his, gets himself in the middle. And he says, Tiffany doesn't even know her. So she actually was wrong. So that's what he's telling Lewis. That was not your place to even jump in there. So now it's looking like 3-on-1. Maurice, Martell, and Marceau is looking like a gang up on Lewis when Lewis was only needing to be talking to Martell. So then Lewis says that she was not wrong. So then Lewis says to Martell, and he's pointing, it looks like he's talking with his hands because he's upset at this point. So he says, were you right? Were you right? Asking Martell. So Martell was like, yeah, I was right. Of course I was right. So then Lewis says, to go to my wife versus me, you were right. So then Martell was like, yeah, I was. So then Lewis says that you were married to Mel, and then he starts touching Martell on the shoulder while he was talking to him, and Martell kind of takes his hand and moves his hand away from him like this. So then Lewis was like, yo, don't do that. Like, don't put your hand on me like that. So I was like, well, Lewis was like, hold up, bro, like, hold up. They getting a little hype. So then Maurice, he kind of jumps in between them and puts his hands like this to kind of hold them back. So then Marcel says, hey, y'all, like, don't do that. Like, y'all don't do that, okay? So then Lewis says, okay, bet. So then Lewis says to Martell, says, that was disrespectful versus coming to me. He's still telling him, like, hey, you shouldn't have said nothing to my wife if you had a problem with something she said. You should have just come to me and had a conversation with me. So then Martell says via confessional, says that Tiffany and I aren't best friends, that she shouldn't have said those things to Sheree. He was still mad about what was said to Sheree. So then they show Marcel to where Marcel says, do you think that you're responsible when we come to you to say, hey, this is the problem. Can you deal with it? All right. Lewis says 100%, and I'm going to address it. All right. So then Maurice says that when you first heard it, what did you say? Shut your ass up, Maurice. You shouldn't be saying nothing. So then Lewis says, I said, really, Tiffany? So then Lewis also says that I get that she's wrong, but y'all still come to me. Says, number one, she's pregnant. Number two, y'all two grown men. Says that I'll ask her to issue an apology to Sheree. So then Martell was like, yeah, 100%. Like, yeah, have her do that. Because I feel like she was wrong for saying what she said. You know, he's agreeing with Lewis. Like, yeah, she needs to apologize to her. So then Maurice says, and apologize to Martell. I was like, bitch, who are you? You ain't nobody's attorney. Take your certificate in there and sit your ass down. Nobody asked you to come out here. He don't have to apologize to Martell. Martell is a whole hoe out here. Who's apologizing to him because his ass is a whole hoe? That was not a lie what she said. Now, granted, maybe she was out of tune for saying what she said, but what she said was not a lie. So I would not have her apologizing to no damn Martell. Accept your whole title and go sit your ass down beside Maurice. Both of y'all go sit down. So then Marcel says, and she needs to apologize to the whole human race. Thank you so much, Miss Kill 100 for the super chat, dear. Yeah. So inside the baby shower, you guys, there's some stuff going on inside the baby shower, inside the baby shower, to where Stormy, honey, made her way over to go sit with Tiffany in this other little room where Tiffany is sitting. Okay. Tiffany is saying, I'm feeling a little dizzy. So she's kind of laid back. She said, I'm feeling a little dizzy. She's not feeling well. And so Stormy's sitting in there with her. And then Stormy kind of reaches in to rub her stomach. I don't know if anybody else feels this way. When I was pregnant, I did not allow people to just reach in and touch my belly when I was pregnant. Did any other women, do y'all feel that way? I feel like that's kind of a violation. Don't come up to me just because you see I'm pregnant and feel like it's okay for you to just reach out and touch and or rub my stomach. Stormy just reached over there and just touched her stomach like it was just okay. I was very finicky about that. When I'm pregnant, if I'm pregnant, do not reach in and just touch my stomach and or rub my stomach, because I don't know what kind of energy you're bringing. And first of all, Stormy, you don't really like Tiffany like that anyway, because the scene before that at the Upscale magazine event, you were starting shit to have people coming at Tiffany. So now you want to sit in here like you her friend and that you want to comfort her when you was already starting shit to have people coming at her. So now how you flip-flopping like that? You a fake ass friend is what it's looking like. Now you want to be sitting in there with that negative ass energy, that fake ass energy, and then go and rub up on her stomach like you got her like that, when you really don't. You should have stayed your ass in there, because really what you came in there for was to be nosy. You wasn't coming in there to be a friend and to comfort her. You was coming in there to be nosy, because you know the fellas was out there talking about that situation that happened at Black. You wanted to go in there to see what her response was going to be and to be nosy. I would have slapped her hand if she would have tried to touch my tummy, period. I was very finicky about that. Like, don't do that. I had one person at my job try to do that, not to get off topic too much. She tried to reach in and touch my stomach, and I had to move her hand, because I don't know what kind of energy that you're trying to, you know what I mean? I was feeling a little way about that. And she kind of gave me a look, and I was just like, bitch, don't do it again. Don't do it again. Don't do it again. Don't touch me like that. You wouldn't touch me any other time, but don't touch me. But anyway, so then Stormy says, let me know if you need anything. And I was like, yes, take your ass back in there. That's what I need you to do. Bye. So then Tiffany says, no, it's just a lot. It's just a lot. So she's kind of in her feelings. She's saying she don't feel well. So then Stormy, like I said, she reaches in to kind of touch her tummy. Tiffany is steady saying she feels nauseous. She's not feeling well. So then in confessional, Tiffany says that I'm surrounded by a lot of great friends. She says, but there's only one person that I need in this moment, and that's my husband. She said, I need my husband. She knows he's out there arguing back and forth with the guys. At one point, it got loud. I'm pretty sure she heard it. So back outside, they show the guys back outside with Lewis and Marcel. They kind of get to a resolution of what the issue was, to where they kind of hug it out. Marcel says to Lewis, says that you got to deal with her, man. And then they're kind of laughing, and they're even kind of giving each other dap. He kind of daps up Martell, and they appear to be cool, which I said that whole scene was fake as hell, because how you go from being that mad and ready to pop somebody's ass to then giving somebody dap and you mad cool like that now, especially after Marcel was throwing in little jabs and little jokes about the shit after you already said you felt a way about your wife. I really felt like that scene was very fake, because I don't see them kind of calming down to be that on the kumbaya like that. Okay. So then Marcel then goes on to say, congrats, man, says that this is a terrible baby shower. He was trying to be sarcastic per usual. And then Lewis says, oh yeah, thank you. So then they go back inside of the baby shower, where Tiffany is at this point, she's crying, when Lewis kind of walks in the room and he asks, what's wrong with you? Like, damn, I left you was smiling and greeting everybody and you was eating. And then I come back in here and you crying. He's like, what's wrong with you? So then the person sitting by Tiffany, I want to say is her mom, maybe. She's thirsty. I was like, she ain't crying because she's thirsty. Something else is wrong with her. If she's thirsty, y'all could have been went and got her something to drink and she'd have been all right. Like, something is really wrong with her, I guess. So then Lewis says to Tiffany, what's wrong? He started asking her what's wrong. So then Lewis, he kind of leans down to talk to Tiffany. He started asking her, what's wrong? What's wrong with you? So Tiffany, she reaches up and she kind of pulls his head down closer to put his ear up to her mouth, where she's kind of whispering in his ear. And production kind of puts the words up on the screen. And she says, I'm really dizzy. She says, I want the lights off. I want the lights off. So she says she wants the lights off because she's feeling dizzy. Okay. So then Lewis says to Tiffany, says, are you hurting? Are you hurting? And then she says right here. So she points to a certain spot on her tummy, at the top of her tummy. And she says right here. She's hurting right there. So then Lewis says in confessional, he says that there was a pretty heated conversation. He says, now my wife needs me. And he said, and all that goes out the window, meaning all that shit that I was talking about out there. I don't care. My wife, she needs me right now and she's not feeling well. So Tiffany says that I thought it was contractions. Then I just started seeing stars. Okay. So then Lewis says, do you want to go? Do you want to go? Tiffany was like, no. So she's still crying. So then Stormy is kind of looking at Tiffany like, then she says, I think we need to call 911. That's what Stormy is saying. I was like when you said you had sepsis whenever Black Titanic filed them papers on you like that. Never mind. And of course, that's the end of the episode, you guys. So the episode ends where Stormy tells Lewis and Tiffany, I think we need to call 911. Okay. Yeah. Like, you mean like when you went to the emergency rooms and you told the doctor you had sepsis versus waiting for them to tell you? Oh, okay, girl. You diagnosed yourself and you laid there because you knew you had them charges. But go off, girl. Anywho, I'll rate this episode a 7 out of 10. A 7 out of 10, just because I don't really feel like this episode really gave me anything but aggravation. So next episode, let's do a recap of what's going on next episode. Tiffany is still, of course, in distress at the shower. She's crying. Kimmy then comes in, because y'all know Kimmy is a nurse. She comes in and she sees what's going on. And Lewis is in there. Tiffany's mom is in there. Stormy's still in there. Kimmy says, do we need to get permission to call 911? Because she's like, at this point, she's been sitting here for quite some time. Y'all need to go ahead and make a decision, because if she's not feeling well, she needs to get to the hospital. Okay. They were trying to do everything they could to soothe Tiffany, but it doesn't look like it was helping. So Kimmy was like, look, I think y'all need to go ahead on. Like, do we need permission to go ahead and just call 911 and have them come and get her? So then at this point, Lewis picks Tiffany up, puts her in his truck, and then he just kind of sped up out of there to go and take her to the hospital. Okay. So then next scene is Tisha, Marcel, and Maurice. And then the guy who y'all know that took Tisha's office at Schultz. They're at the job site for the Fairfield Inn Hotel that they were telling everybody they're building, that we all know is at a halt because nobody's bidded on it yet. They did all this talking about, oh, we're building this hotel. Oh, we're doing this, and this. They're not doing any building. Nobody's building. Nobody's working on that site because no one is building on it. I already did a live on it. I done talked to y'all about it. So they have incorporated this into their storyline for this season. Okay. Ain't nobody working on the project. So they're out there, they're taking pictures, okay, and they're celebrating at this job site, all right? I was just like, this shit is so fake, because I know what's really going on, okay? So then Tisha had on these white stockings with these open-toed Easter shoes, child, walking out there on the job site with all these rocks and dirt and shit out there. I was like, child, go somewhere. who wears open-toed Easter shoes with white stockings with your toes all peeping through? It was looking a mess. Like, girl, who dressed you? So then Marcel says that we're building something for real. Something we can call, something that we can all be proud of. And I was like, how? When? Y'all ain't building anything. Y'all ain't building anything. Y'all need to be home packing them boxes. Y'all need to be packing the boxes. That's what y'all, not over here at the job site where ain't nobody doing no work. Ain't nobody doing no work. Y'all putting 20 on 10. But anywho, so then they show the next scene where Miguel Wilson, honey, is sitting down with Martell while he's sitting there trying to look like he's in a whole business meeting with that tight ass suit on to discuss him doing some suits for his business, for Miguel's business. So Martell is happy to showcase them 3 tired ass suits that his ass been wearing for the past couple seasons, all right, including that stupid ass short set. I was like, I don't know no man that wear no suit short set. I don't know anybody to do that but him. And we already saw it on the show, that purple one. He got that purple suit, that black and white penguin suit that he done wore to Mel's event, and then he done wore at, I want to say at the event that he had, his Upscale magazine event, he wore it to Sheree, something at Sheree's house. I was just like, I'm so tired of seeing that damn suit. And then it's another black suit that he always be wearing. So he got like 3 suits and he's calling the shit a collection, but go off. So then the comeback group, honey, they meet again. They start the meeting out with a prayer. But things quickly take a turn left, honey, all the way left. When Kimmy challenges Tisha, and Tisha raises her voice at Kimmy, and then Maurice kind of yells out, y'all are recycling our ideas. So he is mad that they are still pushing this whole idea of wanting them to come and work for free. Tisha and Marcel wants the comeback group to work for free, to go up and do this speaking thing, and they're not going to pay anybody, and they're also not going to be, they're not giving them shit. They're going to keep the money. Whatever money is raised, they're not trying to give them anything. And Marcel already made it very clear he's not paying nobody. So, like I said, Tisha is known for that. I mean, ask Melody. Ask Melody. She's known for that. So, and then Marcel, he looked like, oh, snap. Here we go. We caught. Okay. Like, we caught, y'all. We caught. So, Tisha and Marcel, like I said, they are still trying to push their agenda on the group, and they still want them to speak and work for free while they pocket the money. Okay, but that's it, guys. That's what's gonna happen on the next episode. Next episode looks like it might be a little interesting. I might be able to bump it up to 8, but so far we stuck on 7. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode 9 of Love and Marriage Huntsville. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Ready to pop off is what the episode was. Season 6, episode 9. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Please hit that like button if you did not. We got over 1,068 in the building. Thank y'all for being here. We made pretty good time. It's 9:05. Not too bad. Thank you, guys. We will have Car Chronicles tomorrow. I will be sitting right here in this chair. I'll be working from home tomorrow, so we will have Car Chronicles tomorrow. So make sure you catch that as well. Also, if you did not subscribe to this channel, go ahead and do that as well. All right. Thank you guys so much. Mods, thank y'all for doing a great job. Caramelians, thank you guys for being here. People in the bushes, thank y'all for being here as well. Thank you, Wanda, for being in the bushes. Thank you, Marcelo, aka Broken Piano Teeth. Thank you for being here as well. Thank you, Stormy, and anybody else. Tilapia Tisha, thank you for hanging out with us in the bushes as well. All right. And I'm gonna get on out of here. Y'all know I'm a petty girl in my petty world. But thank y'all for being here. Let's get on out of here. You guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Love you guys all the way that way, and goodbye.